All right, guys, welcome back to another video. This is Parker Wild from Ziggy Brands, and in this video, we are going to be going over what it actually costs to start an Amazon FBA business. And so we're going to be going over the mandatory costs, the optional costs, how to get the money, and is it actually worth it? And so I want to just dive right in because I know that all of you are so eager just to find out what the answer is and to see all the different costs. And so I've just opened up a basic Word document and section this off a little bit just to keep it organized so that you guys can follow along easily. And so the first thing that is absolutely mandatory that you guys will need to do is create an LLC. Okay, and then an LLC is going to protect all of your personal assets. So if you're selling a product that somehow is defective and causes damages to someone and someone tries to come after you, this will protect all of your personal assets. And you will also need an EAN, which is essentially like a social security number for your business. So that way when tax season comes around, you can also have all that information prepared for you as well. And so an LLC typically ranges to about $150. $150 to probably somewhere around $200. Can't type today. Cool. So this is super important though, and this is just like a one-time fee, so you'll never have to pay that again. Your next fee that you will have to pay every single month is the Seller Central. So this is Amazon's platform that you will sell on, and it costs $39.99 a month. And then you guys will 100% need a product and keyword research software. So product and keyword research software. And you guys can take this month by month if you want, or you can just purchase the whole year up front. It really depends on how much money you guys have or how much you're wanting to spend. But there are tons of different plans out there. I use Viral Launch, and I have the best plan there is because I need to do a lot of different things and I like to teach people using all the best software possible. But if you're just a beginner, you probably don't need to purchase the very best one out there. And so if I were you, I would just purchase either the beginning or the intermediate one, which is the one after the beginning. And product research software can cost anywhere from $50 to $100 a month. But this is absolutely critical. Like, you guys have to have this if you want to be successful. And so take a look at Viral Launch. They do offer great prices, and in the link below I will offer you guys discounts if you are interested in getting signed up with Viral Launch's product research, which again I highly recommend. Okay, cool. So let's go on to the next one. Your next one, you will have to purchase inventory, right? You're actually going to have to purchase units or product from suppliers in China or Vietnam or wherever you guys decide to actually buy from. And so inventory actually can range around $1,000 to $1,500. And obviously, you guys, you can buy a lot more or you can buy a lot less. But on average, most people, when starting, spend about $1,000 to $1,500 on inventory, right? Because the last thing you want to do is do all this work to rank in Amazon's system and then be out of product, right? Because then if you go out of product, then you have to re-rank, and that takes a while. So if you purchase, $1,000 to $1,500 worth of units, and units are $2 to $3, right? Then you've been able to purchase 750 to 500 different, or 500 to 750 units, which should last you a decent amount of time. And you'll also need to purchase a barcode. This is another thing that's mandatory. Don't worry, this is simply $5. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of videos where people are saying it's like 250 or 300. It's not. It's $5. I don't know where they're getting their barcodes from, but I will also have that in a mini course or in my course later on if you guys decide to take a look at that. The mini course is obviously completely for free along with the cheat sheet, which you can get down below. So you've got the barcode. Now you actually have to ship the product, right? And so shipping. And again, this really depends on how many units you have. If you're doing shipping by a plane or by sea, some sort of a ship. And so, typically on average, once again, this is somewhere around $500. I want to be as conservative as possible and really give you guys the best picture possible. So I would just stick with $500 for now. And then the last thing that's absolutely 100% mandatory is, oops, $images, my bad, images, right? Images are critical. This is make or break for your business. If you have bad images, you will not sell. Simple as that. And so my professional photographer that's located in China does images for around $200, so I'm just going to put $200 there. Now I want to go over the optional things, right? The first optional thing that I would say is a course, right? Lots of people offer a course out there. I know I offer one for $497, but there are people that offer courses for thousands and thousands of dollars, which quite frankly I think is ridiculous. But if people are willing to pay that, then so be it. So I will put down anywhere from $500 to $2,500. Okay, cool. And then the next thing is a trademark. Something interesting about Amazon is people can actually sell on top of your listing. So like when you start to get a lot of popularity and you start making a lot of sales, we call them hijackers. They can actually come onto your listing and start stealing sales, which really sucks. But if you guys have a trademark, you can kick them off of your listing. So it's absolutely critical, but not mandatory, hence why it's in the optional box, that you do get a trademark just to protect yourself, and this usually ranges about $400. And then the other optional thing that I do tell people is a product launch, right? When you're first launching a product, you don't have any sales, you don't really have any reviews, and so it's really hard for you to get seen on page one, especially. And so I tell people to do a product launch, and essentially, we'll go over that in my mini course and in my full course as well, but the product launch is absolutely critical. I highly recommend it. You don't have to do it, but you'll be a crap ton more successful if you actually do it. And this can be about $400. And the reason I say it's $400 is, let's say you sell a $20 product and you give away 5 units a day. So that's $100 per day for 4 or 5 days. So $400 to $500 you're out of. And again, we'll go over that in depth a lot more, but just for now, just so that you get the full picture, just remember the $400. Cool. And then advertising. So Amazon is awesome because it has its own advertising platform. It's called PPC, pay per click. And I go over that in crazy amount of depth on my course because not a lot of other people do, which I find absurd. But you guys are lucky because my course is only $497 while other people are charging you way more and not giving you a lot. But advertising is absolutely critical, and I typically tell people, have a budget of like $500 a month. And you guys have to think like you're going to be making money during that time too. So don't just think like you're out $500, right? Because you'll get sales from your PPC to make your money back, so you'll be okay. But again, that's just optional. Like you don't have to run PPC if you don't want, but you 99.99999% definitely should. And then the other thing that I forgot to mention were samples, right? So when you get a product made from a supplier, you're gonna want to see it, right? Some people do, some people don't, but essentially a supplier will just charge you the shipping fee, which is approximately $100, right? Oops, not $4,100, $100. And so essentially these are like all of your guys' costs, right? And so we can kind of go over them now. Okay, so we can open up this calculator, right? And so like I said, let's just see how much everything would be now. So an LLC, 150 plus $40 plus, let's go $75 in between for the product and research software. Inventory will go in between again. Barcode $5, shipping $500, images $200. Cool. So your mandatory cost, right, is around $2,200. Now let's throw in the optional cost, right? So $2,200 is our mandatory cost. Let's write that down. 22, excuse me. Okay. $2,200. Okay. Now let's go over our optional costs. So of course, $500 to $2,500. If you guys are smart, you would just buy mine because it's way cheaper and way better. So we're just gonna put $500 plus a $400 trademark, plus a $400 product launch, plus $500 worth of advertising, plus $100 worth of samples, you are looking at $1,900 of optional costs. Cool. So now let's just add the 1900 to the 2200. If you guys were to get all of this, your all-in cost is $4,100. And again, you guys, this is like so dependent based on how many units you're buying, what kind of shipping you're doing, how much advertising you're running, if you're buying course, not buying course, trademarking, etc., etc. So like this is a very rough estimate, right? You can run an Amazon business with $2,000, right? You can do it, or $1,500 or $1,000, right? If that just means that you're not purchasing a lot of units, or you are and your units are crazy inexpensive, like 50 cents or less, you know what I mean? And so that's just important to remember. So $4,100. Now, I guess the biggest question is, okay, like $4,100, how do I get that money? You know, there's several different ways you can get the money. Friends and family are obviously the best, right? Like if you guys are passionate about this and you can express your interest to friends and family, you should 100% be able to come up with this money, right? And obviously, until you guys are successful, I would not recommend quitting your job. And that money from your job can also come to, obviously how to get this money as well. The other thing, and in my case, what I did, and I would just tell and advise all of you to do as well, if you can't get the money from friends and family, is literally walk into Chase Bank or Wells Fargo or whatever bank you want and go apply for a credit card and ask for a $5,000 limit on it. You know, the worst that they can say is no. But like, there's no excuses. Like, you guys can get the money. It's the most frustrating thing when people tell me that, oh, I can't do Amazon FBA because I don't have the money. Like, yes, you do. You all have the money. You can go out and either make it, you can get a loan, you can, get help from friends and family. There's a billion ways to just get some money to start up. And you guys, let's go over now, is it actually worth it, right? Let's say that you have a $5,000 investment in this. If you lose all that $5,000, which you will not, especially if you follow my course 100%, but if you do, that's $5,000 gone, right? And that sucks. But you can make that money back over time. So just remember that, right? Like, money doesn't necessarily grow on trees right now. Right now it doesn't, but when you start an Amazon FBA business, you most certainly will feel like it does, right? So it doesn't grow on trees, but you guys can make your money back, right? And especially $5,000, like that may take some of you a month, 2 months, 3 months. But you guys have to look at like the upside. Like any type of business that you start, yes, there's going to be risk. But without risk, there's no reward. And so the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. And so, is it worth it? Well, yeah, of course, right? If you can start making $10,000 plus a month off of this, which is very doable, obviously it is worth it. And so, there's a learning curve to everything, right? And it does take work, and it does take time, and it does take a determination, right? Because there's so many things that you guys won't know to start, and that's why I really actually would recommend purchasing a course. Mine's $497. It offers way more than a lot of other people out there offer, and I only did that so that you guys could use that course for your own benefit, but also be able to have leftover money to do all this other stuff, right? Because that's super important that you have leftover money, right? Like a lot of these people that do Amazon FBA, they're selling courses, they are master marketers. And they're selling you their brand. They're not selling you their course, they're selling you their brand, which is, good for them, but not so good for you because their material is not the best in the world. And so just remember that, you guys, like, don't be, do your due diligence and really look things through. But I hope this helped, and I hope you guys have a better understanding of what to expect when getting into Amazon FBA. Again, make sure you follow me on social media. What comes after, subscribe to my channel, because I will be coming out with more helpful stuff for you guys. And I can't wait for the next video. See you later.